Did Peter Fury expose Tyson Fury's biggest mistake against Usyk? Because maybe Fury did not lose because he lacked skill. Maybe he lost because he chose the wrong kind of fight. Should the bigger man have boxed from distance, or should he have made Usyk feel every pound of weight? This is where the debate becomes very interesting. Did Peter Fury expose Tyson Fury? That is the question. Because when Tyson Fury fought Usyk, the opinions, they were divided. Some people believed Tyson Fury would be too big. Some people believed Usyk would be too skilled. Both men had fantastic resumes. But Tyson Fury had advantages that looked impossible to ignore. The size difference was not normal at all. So the reach, the height, and the weight, these disparities were unbelievably astronomical. In a sense, this looks similar to when Riddick Bowe fought Evander Holyfield. Both were elite fighters, both were great fighters, both had boxing intelligence, and both had real toughness. But one man had the physical authority. So the question was simple. Could Fury use his size the way Bowe used his size against Holyfield in their first fight? Now, in that first fight, Tyson Fury opted to box. He tried to box. And it made sense strategically. Why would the taller man rush? Why would the bigger man give Usyk the inside battle too early? Fury used movement, he used rhythm, he used upper body feints and long-range boxing. And for large considerable parts, it worked. For example, after round 6, many people felt Tyson Fury had control of the fight. Now, Peter Fury, he saw it differently. He had a different perspective. He felt Tyson Fury was utilizing the wrong strategy. And that is interesting. Why is it interesting? Because Peter Fury is not some reckless offensive trainer. He's a great trainer, in my opinion. And he's a defensive trainer, a defensive thinker. To paint a picture, he understands distance, shape, patience, and control at a very high level. So when a defensive trainer says the bigger man should impose himself more, that's an interesting perspective. What exactly is he seeing? I think Peter Fury's point was about dominance, not just boxing, not just touching Usyk from range, but making Usyk feel the weight. Not just the weight, though, feel the strength, the clinch, the shoulders, and the roughness. Was Tyson Fury supposed to get closer, push Usyk back, and make it ugly? Was he supposed to turn a boxing match into a dangerous physical argument? Was that Tyson Fury's ultimate advantage? And here is the interesting part. Tyson Fury did have success with this actual strategy because the movement disrupted Usyk's punch output. His feints made Usyk reset, and his body shots and uppercuts, they clearly caused discomfort. And at times, Usyk looked like he was having to solve layers. So can we really say the strategy failed? Or did it work until Tyson Fury's body betrayed him? Now, this may be considered a philosophical point or a more nuanced point, because the problem was not just Usyk. The problem was the cost of the strategy. Not just the strategy, but the cost of the strategy. Let me explain. Movement costs energy. Feints cost energy. Pulling back from pressure costs energy. Throwing body shots while carrying huge weight costs energy. Tyson Fury was not a fresh version of himself. His reflexes at times, particularly in the later half of the fight, looked depreciated. And once those reflexes slowed down, Usyk found that counter left hand in the 9th round. So here are the questions to ponder. What happens? What happens if Tyson Fury takes a dominant position earlier? What happens if he plants his feet, gets in the pocket, and throws with bad intentions. Usyk would have felt the weight for sure. Usyk may have struggled with Fury's size for sure, and Fury's chances of hurting Usyk, they would increase exponentially. But there is a cost, because Usyk's chances of landing would also increase exponentially too. I want to preface this part by saying Peter Fury is a great trainer from my perspective, and he did a fantastic job with Rico versus Usyk. He's a great strategical mind. But with that being said, there is a danger to Peter Fury's observation, because it sounds simple, but it's not. Because if Fury fights more physically, he creates more knockout opportunities, but he also creates more danger for himself. Usyk is not. Usyk is not a passive, smaller man. He is a brilliant counterpuncher. If you give him exchanges, he will find timing. If you smother him, he moves. So did Peter Fury expose Tyson Fury? Maybe, just maybe, he exposed the dilemma, because Tyson Fury boxed well enough to win moments, but maybe not physically well enough to break Usyk down. If he fought rougher, maybe he hurts Usyk, but maybe, just maybe, he gets punished earlier. This is what makes the fight fascinating, or made the fight fascinating. And the answer is not simple. It's a question of risk. So essentially, Peter Fury shows us a different Tyson Fury. And what that does, it's interesting because it creates a different fight, but not necessarily a different outcome. So different fight, but not necessarily a different outcome. And of course, there's a possibility that a Tyson Fury that engages in a more physical fight gets a sensational finish. But in reality, the reality is that Tyson Fury, a man fighting to dominate, yes, he increases the chance of getting a knockout, but he also increases the chance of getting knocked out. And this context is important because ultimately it's a different fight, but not a guaranteed win. Now I'm trying to build a digital boxing community. That means I'm interested in your comments, I'm interested in your questions, and I'm interested in your observations. Now, if you want to support the channel, then simply like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more content like this, then click here or click here. As always, thanks for your time. It is much appreciated.